Deloitte gave me, I guess you almost take it for granted, the tax technical bedrock on which a tax person builds their career. But it goes much more than that. I mean, I can think of perhaps three things that are non-technical aspects that are relevant to the experience that Deloitte gave me. First is actually just the power of pushing down responsibility to people at very early stages in their career, something that certainly I benefited from at Deloitte and I try to do with my teams now. Second would be knowing when to ask for advice. So particularly having come from an M&A background where you're dealing with a very complex dynamic environment and having to bring in lots of experts in different areas, you get quite good at being the being the conductor of the orchestra almost, and knowing when to ask for help. And third, that critical skill for particularly in-house tax people is the ability to explain tax concepts to a non-tax audience. I would say Deloitte have been excellent at keeping in touch since I left, both through ensuring that I see the people I used to work with and used to have as I've changed roles, people who used to advise me still in contact through the network and still see at the conferences and events. And that creates a feeling that the firm is actually caring about me rather than just me in my role. So the move from TUI to Ladbrokes, actually funnily enough TUI and Ladbrokes have more in common than you might think. I mean, they're both in the leisure industry ultimately, but also both start with a retail heritage. Thompson, First Choice, have 700 shops in the UK. Ladbrokes Coral have 3,500, so it's a slightly different scale, but they're both starting from retail, but also both on that journey to a digital future where it's much higher mix online, and both grappling with the challenges of running a retail and online business, facing similar sets of customers. I did one of the Deloitte Transition Labs back in March, which was the perfect time as I was 5 months into my new role as Group Tax Director. And it created the opportunity to step back and think about what I needed to do in my new role, armed with a bit of experience of having done it for enough months, but still early on enough that I could make a real impact in my first year. The gambling industry is very heavily taxed, so just in the UK, Ladbrokes Coral pays more than £500 million of tax, which number one means tax is very important, and number two means you can make a real difference to the business. The thing about Ladbrokes Coral was it was great to get in there at the start of the merger, so I started literally a handful of days before the merger completed, and real opportunity to be at the heart of a very exciting time for the business as it comes together. Lots and lots of opportunities, but definitely the vision that two businesses are stronger together. And it was good to get in and shape the tax response to that and to lead the function. And I guess ultimately leading the function, I've had 15 years in tax, so I've got a few views on what tax functions should and shouldn't do and how they should interact with the business. So it's been great to shape my team. A work-life balance, I think it's something that personally I believe very strongly in. I've had people working for me in previous roles who have been part days, and I think tax, fortunately, is one of those areas where actually it can work very nicely, in that there are certain aspects of the tax role that mean we can plan ahead with enough certainty that actually it does work to have people working flexibly. And at the end of the day, it's quite a cerebral activity, so I think people understand that you can't burn the candle at both ends when you're doing tax, and that ultimately you want people to get it right.